was harder to watch than the 3 quarters of the Bears game. This one felt more frustrating, maybe specifically because we just could not stop the run. But, man, that was a tough watch, pretty much start to finish.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you just because last week it was offensive struggles, defense kind of held its own. This game, offense and defense didn't show up. I mean, the only thing that really showed up was special teams. But, unfortunately, if you're talking about special teams being the only bright spot, you're not winning a lot of football games. So, there is so much to be frustrated about. Me as a defensive player, 219 yards you give up on the ground, that is unacceptable. And you're not going to win a lot of football games. But as you guys were kind of talking earlier and how you kind of laid this whole thing out, if you do so well in the red zone and you hold them to field goals, a competent offense wins you that game. So as much as I look at it from a defensive lens of defense, they let them down by giving up almost 220 yards on the ground, gave up 19 first downs. I mean, it's like we could not stop them from doing anything. I mean, they did anything they wanted to our defense, it seemed like, and just controlled the game. But again, if we get some protection and we can run the ball with a little more competence and we don't give up 6 sacks and we don't have 4 turnovers, and really it was 5 because we had the turnover on downs, which I don't kind of feel like that should be considered a turnover, even though it's not. But, offense certainly didn't do its part either. So, yes, looking back at it, this last game last night was way harder to watch than in Chicago. And I think we gave ourselves a lot more excuses in Chicago as to why it was a little rocky. It's like, okay, it's the kid's first start in whatever 600 some days. It's, he's going back to his hometown with a lot of distractions potentially, and then you have Monday Night Football on top of it. Man, it's a lot to kind of handle. And, he had an amazing fourth quarter. But this game, yeah, it was gross all the way around.
So let me ask you as a defender, when a team gets run on like the Vikings did last night, but it truly was bend but don't break, because they up and down the field pretty easily on the ground, but then for whatever reason, whether it was mistakes by the Falcons or good plays by the defense, like you just said, with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go before we let them walk in for that last one, 15 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it felt like it should have been 40-0 or 40 to whatever. They had only scored 15 points. So does a defensive coordinator still absolutely light you up after a game like that, regardless of the 15 points?
Oh, yeah.
No matter what?
Oh, no matter what. I mean, they're gonna get lit up, and they should. And I think it's actually more detrimental if you dismiss that. If you like, hey, we gave us a chance to win, it's almost like are you accepting the fact that we got bullied on the ground? I mean, we're a top 5 run defense from last year. Nobody ever, especially in a primetime game, should ever come into our place with all that momentum, with all that energy in the building, and push us around the whole game.
Did anybody play well on the line? I mean, I thought Jalen Redmond flashed at least, but anybody else stand out to you?
I thought Grenard played well again. I mean, he's super consistent every single game. Again, there are flashes, sure. But in totality, when they get a hat on a hat, which sounds so just fundamental football and rudimentary of like, hey, let's just get a hat on a hat. Well, they did, and they smothered our guys. I mean, if you look at a lot of the runs, it was a big body like engulfing one of our guys, engulfing our linebackers. Like our linebackers, when they had an immediate release up to the linebackers, they would just get swallowed up. And we'd have to rely on safeties making plays or somebody finally from an edge or something disengaging and chasing down the ball. And then I would hate to be in the meeting room and for all the missed tackles. How many missed tackles? First play of the game.
Yeah.
IP has a chance at Bijan for maybe a no gain run, and falls off of him. I don't know what was going on with IP yesterday. It's like he would hit and just like lose his legs a lot. He would just fall off the ball carrier, and that's not typical of what we see out of him. So Fundamentally, just doing the regular just tackling was not good.
That's all disappointing as hell. Also concerning is the amount of injuries. I mean, what do we do?
And
I haven't seen this in 2 games the amount of concussions. Right. I mean, the Okuda one's understandable. He got hit from the side, and it was a pretty violent collision. And
teammate, right? Friendly fire.
I think it was friendly fire,
yeah, right.
And they're trying to close out the game when the Bears are trying to lateral the ball around, and it's like, okay, that happens sometimes. The other ones were. Now, obviously, in the line of play with like Ryan Kelly, we're not seeing sometimes guys fall on the ground, they catch a knee to the side of the head or something. But it's just we're not seeing this level of concussion / head injuries. I mean, with the frequency that we're seeing, ever. And the concerning part is, these protocols typically last a couple weeks. Depending on how severe these head injuries are. Guy can tweak an ankle or something and like, all right, let's just like hold him out to practice and we'll tape it up and maybe get an injection and he's back in the game, the next week. But with the head injuries, you got to be so careful that I don't know how long these guys are going to be out.
How much does Darisaw help that offensive line?
I think immensely at this point. I mean, School's out there giving his best effort. We all know that. But I think physically he's not even close to what Darisaw is. And then I don't know what is going on with just the protection in general. I mean, I think they had, of the 6 sacks, 2 of them were free rushers.
Yeah.
And you're still giving up 4 sacks and still legitimate 4 sacks. I mean, let's not discredit those guys for rushing well or playing their techniques well. I mean, there was a sack on Jackson at the left guard spot that it was a great twist, and he kind of caught his edge, and they got vertical push. And it's like, hey, man, that's going to happen, especially to a young guy that kind of recognizes the twist a little late. Got to give them their flowers when it's deserved, but you can't give up 2 free rushes. One of which I thought JJ hurt his knee again.
Yeah.
Same.
Right. No.
He got bent over backwards on that fumble, and I'm like, man, if we're going to lose our quarterback because we just like don't get the blocking scheme right.
Well, and we're talking about some key cogs in the wheel that are missing: C.J. Ham and Christian Darisaw. And how much does Ham keep keep people out of the backfield?
Yeah, I know. And now it looks like we're going to be out Aaron Jones.
I know. Yeah.
We'll get an update on him today, how severe that hamstring is. But he was in the tent for not very long, and he came walking out disappointed, not holding his helmet. And there wasn't even a chance he was going to go back in the game. So, that'll be a big blow. And we know, Ty Chandler's still out, and so it's, we are nicked up and banged up everywhere. And then you look at defensively, and now, I'm going to really overanalyze this, but what I saw to Cashman defensively in the Bears game, just getting guys lined up was impressive. Him as the green dot, just to get our guys settled down and get our guys in the right spot. Pre-snap, we didn't have that last night. I'm not saying that was everything with our run game, but I don't know. Could have been something just for, as you guys were saying with JJ, like just getting in and out of the huddle, just getting a rhythm on defense, just having a guy out there that really knows the defense in and out and can make the proper checks and make the proper alignments and move a guy here and there if he feels like he's got to move a guy. That could have played into everything, and we don't know when we're going to get him back
and
either.
Harrison Smith could have been helping with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are really beat up.
We are really
and
beat up.
And we're only 2 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
I know that I'm beating a